God's absolute unwavering faithfulness. They use Israel's history, the captivity.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're taking a look at a stack of sources. We've got an author interview, some key book excerpts, and we're going to shortcut your understanding of a resource that's really designed to anchor your hope.
Especially when the world feels like it's spinning out of control.
Exactly. We're doing a deep dive into this new 365-day devotional, Until He Comes, which is co-authored by Amir Tsarfati and Barry Stagner.
And for you, our listener, who really wants knowledge that's both fast and thorough, this is, I think, a critical analysis. We're not just, summarizing the book. We're trying to unpack its unique premise.
Right.
We want to know, where did the idea come from?
Yeah.
What was the thinking behind the content, and why are these 365 daily readings so focused on prophecy, end times, and Israel? Why are they considered such a necessary anchor for right now?
That's the key question. This isn't just another devotional that's aiming for sort of a general encouragement.
No, not at all.
This is a manual for living with what they call intentional expectancy. It's built on this conviction that future global events are knowable and that history proves God's promises are, reliable. Our mission is really to understand the mechanics of that hope.
And that focus on practical hope is just so central. The authors get that all this knowledge can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
So their goal is to translate these huge prophetic concepts into, daily spiritual growth.
Just a small dose.
A small dose of clarity that you can take with you when you leave your house and, face the chaos of the morning news.
Okay, so let's unpack this collaboration, and we have to start with its origin because it's pretty surprising. This book didn't just begin as a stack of blank pages. It actually evolved organically from content the ministry was already producing, something they called Bible Bites.
And that's just a perfect example of adapting ministry to how people consume things now. The ministry saw that concentration spans were declining, especially with younger people. Sitting through an hour-long sermon isn't always feasible for everyone. So they looked for a way to deliver these core truths, but quickly.
So the initial strategy was all digital, and it was extremely condensed. They'd take excerpts from Amir's much longer video teachings and just surgically cut them down.
For what, like a minute or two?
Yeah, just 1 or 2 minutes long. The whole point was just to convey the main message, a specific prophetic insight or, an encouragement in the time it takes to scroll past a few posts on social media.
And that adaptation, that focus on brevity, it really laid the groundwork for the written devotional.
It did.
The material was already proven, it was vetted, it was already broken into pieces. And then back in 2018, Amir reaches out to Barry Stagner with this idea.
An intriguing proposition, for sure.
Yeah, he says, let's take these existing powerful sermon transcripts and rewrite them into daily written devotions.
I found Barry's initial reaction to be pretty telling and, frankly, very relatable. He had already written 2 major devotionals. One of them was over 400 pages long, and he'd basically told himself, I am never writing another devotional.
You could feel the burnout, right? Just the mental load of finding a topic, researching it, and then writing day after day for a full year.
It's immense, but the way this was pitched to him was the key.
That's what got him to say yes.
Exactly. Since the content, the specific prophetic topic, was already chosen and transcribed from the sermons, Barry wasn't starting from scratch. He was only tasked with writing 1 devotion once a week.
Based on material that was already there.
Right. That structural change made it manageable. He called it an easy yes because that burden of coming up with 365 fresh ideas was just gone.
It says a lot about collaborative ministry, doesn't it? Taking these small, manageable steps that end up creating this massive year-long resource.
And it's kind of a lesson in itself.
How so?
The authors noted that this is often how God works. When you commit to being faithful in one small, repeatable task, He can expand that into something much larger, more impactful than you could ever done alone.
That's a great point.
And for you, our listener, if you're interested in the logistics, the final book is 365 daily devotionals. They're intentionally not dated.
Oh, so it's day 1, day 2.
Exactly. So the book is evergreen. You can use it any year. And I really appreciate that they took the extra step of releasing an audio version that's actually recorded by both authors.
So you get their voices, their personal teaching every day.
Right. Which brings us to the core of this whole thing.
Yeah.
The unique selling proposition. In a very crowded market, why this book?
Because it doesn't try to be everything to everyone. It has a niche. The authors describe it as the only 365-day devotional that focuses almost entirely on Bible prophecy, end times, and Israel.
And that focus is so intentional. But let's dig into why that specific focus is considered so crucial right now.
Well, the authors really stress a theological perspective that frames Israel not just as, some ancient nation,
Right.
but as the physical living evidence of God's character. Their foundational belief is that God didn't choose Israel just for Israel's sake. The purpose was always so that the whole world would know that he is God.
And that emphasis immediately shifts the focus from just history to, profound application for today.
Exactly. The devotions constantly circle back to this central theme, God's absolute unwavering faithfulness. They use Israel's history, the captivities in Babylon and Assyria, the nation being scattered as irrefutable proof.
This is where that insurance policy analogy comes in, and I think we need to slow down here. It's such a brilliant way to connect global prophecy to personal faith.
It really is.
God promised to bring the Jewish people back into their land. That promise took nearly 2,000 years to fully happen, culminating in the rebirth of the nation of Israel.
A geopolitical promise that spanned millennia.
Yes. And that fact serves as the ultimate proof point for the individual believer. The argument is basically this. If God was faithful enough to fulfill a promise that took 2,000 years, often against all human logic,
then he is absolutely faithful to the personal promises he has made to you.
exactly, the promises for guidance or comfort or provision in your own life, it transforms the headlines about Israel from just distant news
Into a tangible affirmation of your personal faith.
That's the practical relevance. The book is really dedicated to helping readers figure out how to live today. When you hear alarming news from the Middle East, the devotional gives you a lens to process it.
So it connects directly to your immediate spiritual state. The authors also talked about this dynamic in the book that I think is key. It's this mix of the and the insight.
Yes, I found that analogy so useful for understanding their whole approach. They don't want the book to be purely informational, but they also don't want it to be purely emotional.
Precisely. So they'll include insights that make you go, as in, that's interesting historical or prophetic information I didn't know.
Maybe a detail about ancient geography or a connection between two Bible verses you'd never seen before.
Right. And then they pivot. They make sure the next devotional makes you go, as in, that's something practical I need to chew on or investigate or apply to my own character before I head off to work today.
It's that constant balance between gaining knowledge and gaining wisdom.
And this balance helps maintain this relentlessly hopeful tone. The authors are brutally honest about the state of the world.
Oh yeah, they don't pull any punches.
Not at all. They acknowledge that things globally are not going to get better when you just look at the trends. They offer prophetic clarity, not wishful thinking.
But the point of that clarity isn't to create fear. It's to magnify the ultimate message. That the only stable, reliable hope is found in the Messiah, and his return is imminent.
Which is perfectly captured by the cover.
The visual symbolism is so powerful.
It is. You see the crown of thorns representing the Messiah who suffered and died, and then right beneath it, a kingly crown. It signifies that transition from suffering servant to the reigning King of Kings, who will return to rule from Jerusalem.
It's a daily visual reminder of the hope you're holding on to until he comes.
So if the content is the engine, we have to talk about the drivers.
We do. The story of the collaboration between Amir Tsarfati and Barry Stagner is, I think, the most engaging part of this because it was just so unexpected.
It really was. It wasn't an immediate friendship. Amir was initially just a guest on Barry's radio program, World News Briefing.
They had professional respect, but they hadn't really connected beyond that.
Right. And the defining moment happened, of all places, at a prophecy conference in Ohio.
And they were genuinely surprised to see each other.
Hilariously, because each of them thought they were the only speaker invited to the event.
You can just picture it. But the moment that really solidified their shared vision happened when Barry, who's a Calvary Chapel pastor, started teaching on a critical piece of prophetic scripture.
He was teaching on the Olivet Discourse,
which, for our listener, is basically Jesus's major prophetic sermon to his disciples, detailing the signs of the end times.
And within that teaching, Barry focused on the analogy of the days before the flood.
Okay, and this is the doctrinal nugget that created the connection. Barry interpreted the days before the flood, not just as a time of general wickedness, but as a symbolic reference to the entire church age.
Meaning the whole period between Christ's ascension and his return.
Exactly. And that interpretation, which separates the church from the specific tribulation events that Jesus describes later, It aligned 100% with Amir's own approach.
Okay.
Amir was so surprised to hear this from a minister outside his immediate circle that his wife, who was sitting behind him, said he almost came out of his seat.
And you can see why. While that interpretation is common in some circles, it's not always the prevailing view, even within the broader Calvary Chapel movement. That moment just confirmed this rare, deep-seated doctrinal alignment.
They saw the future through the exact same lens.
And beyond the doctrine, the sources really emphasize that their partnership works because of their personal chemistry and shared values.
They mentioned having the same sense of humor, that they could be laughing their heads off in a restaurant without having had a drink.
That kind of spontaneous chemistry is so vital for a demanding, global ministry like theirs.
And there's this deep shared humility. Barry mentioned seeing a plaque that just read, "It's not about you." Both of them really embraced that perspective.
Plus, you have Barry, an American pastor, with his deep love for Israel and the Jewish people, finding true common ground with Amir, who is an Israeli Messianic Jew.
That shared purpose fuels this enormous global outreach. They travel, literally all around the world together. Australia, New Zealand, Europe, the Philippines, the US, Canada.
And the vision is consistent everywhere, helping the world see Israel through the Bible's eyes. That consistency is what makes this book a strategic tool, not just another devotional. It's part of a much larger mission.
Which brings us to that mission beyond the pages. And this is fascinating because it gets into retail strategy. First off, the timing is clearly strategic.
Coming out just before Christmas.
Right. Makes it an ideal gift that can provide encouragement for the entire next year.
But the urgency of their message it's ramped up dramatically.
Yeah.
The authors specifically noted that after the events of October 7th, 2023, their ministry took on this added dimension.
Which is?
Getting factual, true information out to young people to counter disinformation, and proving that Israel's supernatural return to the land is the definitive proof that the Bible is the inspired Word of God. The book is an equipping tool in that information war.
But this brings up a critical point about distribution. Why do they stress pre-ordering this book so much they almost call it a battle?
Because it is. It's strategic retail warfare. Their goal isn't just to sell books inside the Christian bookstore bubble. They are fighting for the attention of major secular retailers.
The Walmarts, the Targets, the Hobby Lobbies.
Exactly.
And why does that matter so much?
Because that's how you reach non-believers. People who would never, ever step foot inside a traditional Christian bookstore. They view shelf space in a Target as their ultimate mission field. They want this book right next to general fiction or self-help.
And they have a track record here. They pointed to their previous book, Exploring Ezekiel,
which hit the New York Times best-selling list.
And, crucially, secured that precious shelf space in those secular stores.
That's the whole game. Success in pre-orders dictates the initial retail buy-in. If the book sells well right out of the gate, those secular chains have to carry it. The ultimate mission is to use that Target shelf as a signpost.
Pointing people who are anxious about the world toward the hope found in the Word of God. It's making prophetic insight accessible to everyone who's looking for direction.
A deliberate strategy of evangelism through literature and distribution.
What a detailed deep dive. We've synthesized the evolution of this resource from 1-minute video Bible bites all the way to a 365-day devotional that combines rigorous prophetic insight with immediate practical application.
And it's all built on a shared vision and a complementary, but really unexpected partnership, forged by two men who discovered they shared the exact same specific lens on the future. The intention is just so clear. Bring direction and hope through the fog of what's going on in the world.
It's designed to be the daily reminder of God's steadfastness and the confidence believers can have. So we'll leave you with this final provocative thought. The devotionals constantly stress God's proven faithfulness to Israel, a national promise that took 2,000 years to come to fruition.
Right.
So if God is demonstrably that faithful to a massive promise that spanned millennia, what overlooked promise in your own life, whether it's large or small, past or future, should you be holding on to with renewed absolute confidence as you live your life until He comes?
That knowledge is powerful. We look forward to diving in with you again soon.
Grab Until He Comes by Amir Tsarfati, now on sale, $17.95. Don't miss this chance and build good habit and achieve remarkable results. Buy now, today.
Like and subscribe for more Bookhaven podcasts.